The United States accounts for 5% of the world's population, nearly 20% of the world's incarcerated people. Let's talk about how we got here. Beginning in the 1970s and accelerating through the 80s and 90s, federal and state governments adopted policies that increased sentencing length, expanded mandatory minimums, and intensified drug enforcement. The war on drugs literally reshaped the criminal justice system, but the impact was not evenly distributed. Black Americans are incarcerated at nearly 5 times the rate of white Americans, and in some states, that disparity is even higher. Policies like mandatory minimums, the cash bail system, and aggressive charging practices increased the likelihood that low-income defendants would remain detained before trial. Pretrial detention alone often determines outcomes, because people held in jail are statistically more likely to plead guilty, regardless of innocence. Now, quick power check. Criminal law is largely controlled at the state level. Legislatures define crimes and penalties. Prosecutors decide what to charge. Judges interpret sentencing rules. Governors influence policy and clemency. This system reflects policy decisions. Now, mass incarceration is not just one law. It is the cumulative effect of thousands of statutes, enforcement priorities, and budget choices, and the consequences ripple outward. In places like Florida and across the country, felony convictions can impact voting rights, housing access, employment eligibility, and student financial aid. In fact, nationally, approximately 1 in 19 Black adults is disenfranchised due to felony convictions. In some states, that rate is closer to 1 in 10. So when we talk about democracy, we can't ignore who is removed from it. The Constitution guarantees due process, but it does not guarantee equal impact. Disparities emerge from how laws are written, how laws are enforced, and how resources are allocated. Tomorrow, we'll turn to housing and property rights, because incarceration and wealth are not separate systems. They intersect. Your voice matters. Use it in 2026.